In this video, we'll talk about finding the number of small cubes it takes to fill a large rectangular prism. The question reads, a rectangular prism has a length of 12 inches, a width of 5 inches, and a height of 4.5 inches. The prism is filled with small cubes that have edge lengths of 1/4 of an inch. So here's a little cube right here. And how many of these does it take to fill up this entire prism? I'm going to look at this two different ways. So the first way is, and I'll just draw a line here. The first way is to find the volume of the large prism, length times width times height. Let's put that in here. Volume equals length times width times height. And then I'm going to divide by the volume of the small cube. So let's see here. Volume equals length of 12 multiplied by the width of 5 multiplied by the height of 4.5. All right, let's just do this real quickly. 12 times 5 is 60. So let's knock that out. That's 60. I'll put it over 1 to make it a fraction. Multiplied by 4.5, I'm going to make it into a mixed number. I'm sorry, it is a mixed number. I'm going to make it into an improper fraction. 2 times 4 is 8, plus the 1 is 9. Divide that by 2. 9 over 2. Okay. And at any time, if you're having trouble, pause this video and rewind just a little bit. That's a great thing to do. Let's knock some stuff out here. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 60 divided by 2 is 30. So now we have 30 times 9. That is 270. So the volume of the large prism is 270. The label is cubic inches. And now to find the number of small cubes that fits into this, we would divide the volume of the prism divided by the volume of the cube. So I'll say that. Number of cubes equals the volume of the prism divided by, remember fractions mean division, divided by the volume of the small cube. One small cube. Okay, so the volume of the small cube, let's find that real quick. V of the cube, that's 1/4 times 1/4 times 1/4. That's the volume of a cube. It's a side cubed. So the volume of the cube is 1/64 cubic inches. All right, now let's fill in what we need. We have the volume of the prism, that's 270, divided by the volume of a little cube, that's 1/64. All right, we can make this into a fraction by putting it over 1, so now we've got 270 over 1. Multiplied by, remember, copy dot flop, 64 over 1. Here's our flop. Flipping that over. So 270 multiplied by 64 equals 17,280. 17,280 cubes. Not cubic inches or anything, but just little cubes. 17,280 of these little cubes. That's how many it would take to fill this. Here's another way to look at it. And you can do it either way. Let's say, well, we know that this is 1/4 of an inch. So how many of those 1/4 of an inch would fit into the 5 inches? Well, you've got 4 inches, or I'm sorry, 4 little cubes per inch, right? Because if each one is 1/4 of an inch, so then this would be 20 cubes wide. 4 times 5. By the same logic then, this would be 12 times 4. This would be 48 cubes long. And then the height, you have to think about this one a little bit. It's going to be 4 multiplied by 4.5. Or that is 4 over 1 multiplied by 9/2, which equals 18. Okay, so this is 18 cubes high. So now to find the number of little cubes, you're going to multiply 48 times 20 times 18. I'll show that. number of cubes equals 48 times 20 times 18. And guess what? It equals the same thing. It better. Otherwise, we would break mathematics. It has to equal, even doing it different ways. So you can do this either way. Find the whole volume of the entire prism and then divide by the volume of the little cube. That's the way I like to do it. I know in the online lesson it shows counting the number of cubes, saying, well, how many cubes would it take to span the width and the length and the height, and then just multiplying those numbers. So whichever way you like better is the right way, as long as you do it correctly. All right, I hope that helps.